right, welcome to another session of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. Up this week, we've got two of them. Starting with a game called I/O. Not surprisingly, that stands for Input Output. Although, it's like, I think I know what they are going for here in relation to the game, but it's maybe not readily apparent just looking at it. Like, it's like the inputting and the outputting is, I think, related to the shrinking and growing of the wheel. Like, anyway,
So you did get that confirmed?
I am not. This is just my speculation. But anyway, I/O, or as it's known on certain platforms, I/O, a physics platformer. It comes from the same people who gave us the Lines game a couple weeks ago, like same publisher developer Gamius, and that might explain why it kind of looks like that game, but not. It is same minimalist aesthetic at the very least. We'll get into that a bit later. Anyway, I/O, I am pleased to report, is an actual physics platformer, as opposed to the physics tagline that the Lines game was using. Lines was a perfectly functional game. It just didn't have anything to do with physics. I/O here, yeah, you are dealing with physics. You are dealing with momentum, velocity, and so on and so forth. Actual physics terms that you learned in high school and maybe not retained afterwards. And it's a pretty simple affair in terms of concepts. Like, you are a wheel and you are tasked. There's no actual storyline here, by the way. You're just a wheel that has to get to the green glowy end point for whatever reason.
You're a wheel that does wheel things.
Yes. And as previously mentioned, the big gimmick here is you can grow and shrink on a whim, or in this case, in a press of the analog stick, the right one here.
Now, is it analog increase, decrease, or you just kind of pop between a few set sizes?
No, it is actually analog, which is actually rather interesting, because that means this game was a really good fit for a controller. It's also worth mentioning because this game is available on mobile devices. I have no idea how it plays on a mobile device, because I did not play that. And quite frankly, playing this game didn't ever make me want to play it on a mobile device. In fact, the Android version of this game says it's optimized for the NVIDIA Shield. And if you don't know what the NVIDIA Shield is, that's kind of like NVIDIA's game console thing, which uses a controller. So the point I'm getting at is this game really was optimized for a controller. And it's like, if you do play it on a mobile device, I'm willing to bet that it plays best with a Bluetooth game controller. And the game is really simple, as the only controls you got are move the wheel and grow and shrink it. It's like jumping is not a button. Jumping is a action of physics.
That you do by going fast enough up a ramp and then getting small enough that you don't crash immediately.
Yep. You've got to use your momentum to get up to places, and you also are dealing with real-world physical forces like centrifugal force, which means if you're going around a loop, you will stay on the loop. So, yeah. Physics really is the name of the game here. And it's not just gimmicks with the course design. You do have to take into account things like movable objects, whether it be gear-like objects or planks, for lack of a better term. Those are the gold colored things. The red colored things, they're basically hot lava. You know, I'm not sure if they're actually lava, but they're bad. They're signified by the bad touch color. Like, let's see, other things you have to deal with is I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
I wasn't sure if you dropped out or not.
Well,
So the red stuff is death. The blue stuff is static.
yeah.
The yellow stuff moves. Looks like there's some purple stuff that might be portals.
Yep, the purple stuff is portals, and if you've played Portal, it works sort of like those portals. You can't actually aim them or whatever. It's
but it works as far as Speedy Thing goes in, Speedy Thing comes out.
There you go. Yeah, and that's that's a really favored thing on the like really hard levels. Portals for days. Like other things that you have to deal with is wind, air, anti-gravs, something that's that'll cause a small wheel to float, but a large wheel to not float. And yeah, you have to take into that account. You know, it's all very precise, and it's all very well put together. It's just this game doesn't really rise above solid, and I couldn't really tell you why.
I mean, it's just a gimmick physics platformer. There's not a whole lot of meat to that aside from variety of physics puzzles.
Well, and I suppose it comes down to the design as well. Like, the design is very compact. Like, you might struggle on a level, especially because it's got your typical bronze, silver, gold medal dynamic rewards.
Mostly ranked by speed.
Yes. Entirely ranked by speed, actually. There's no style points or anything like that. It's all about how fast you get into the portal. And the times depend on the level. Like, some are really short. Some 30 seconds is the gold reward.
Mm-hmm.
As you would expect. There is a pretty predictable learning curve. The level structure is kind of interesting because they're given in 25 level packs, which initially made me think that this was designed for mobile. But checking the mobile device versions, though, they are the complete versions. Cheaper too, but it's like from what I've investigated, it is one purchase. You get the whole thing from what I can see, which is actually good. Anyway, let's see. Once again, yeah, there isn't really a whole lot to the game in terms of its presentation. It's going for a decidedly minimalist art style. It's got some, it's got clear conveyance on what everything is. It's just, it's all steak, no sizzle. Not necessarily a bad thing, especially for a game like this. And it all looks clean and nice and pretty in that regard. Its music, once again, fulfills the purpose, but I'm having trouble even remembering that this game had music, kind of deal. Pricing. So pricing here is actually pretty interesting because we've got a range of prices across the platforms.
I see it's $5 on Steam, which sounds okay, I guess.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, the mobile versions are clocking in at $3. The Steam version is clocking in at $5. Not exactly sure what the one available on Xbox Live, that's clocking in at $8.
The $8 I can see is probably platform fees.
That's also probably because I'm willing to bet that this is a Play Anywhere thing on it's not just Xbox Live. This is probably Windows 10 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, but it's also possible. Let me see. Where's the PlayStation version here? Not really seeing a price listed. That's odd. Where do they usually list the price on PlayStation things?
If you're looking online, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. Look, I do not use the PlayStation Store
Let me,
for stuff.
since I have an account, let me see if I can find it.
All right, it should It is there. I'm on the page. It's just I can't find the fucking price. And for reference sake, no, this game is not on the Nintendo Switch, at least not yet. I don't know if they have any plans, but this game seems like it would eventually come to that system. Given that it's like, if I had to recommend a version, I'd go with the Steam version. I think that's the best cross section of controls and price.
All right, it's looking like it's $8 on PS4 and $8 on Vita. It doesn't say anything about if it's cross-buy, so...
It is cross-buy.
All right.
Yeah. I'm like, so, yeah. I think this might be the first time we've had this. A game that's 3 different price tiers.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like it's probably worth $5. I'm not sure about 8.
I'd say 5 is the high point of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mobile version has a better price point, but given the controls,
unless you already own a Bluetooth controller and I'm probably playing on like a tablet or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like this game isn't like, honestly, it probably works on a touch screen, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like it really felt like it was built for a controller. Like, and game feel is one of those hard things to nail down in the abstract, but it's absolutely, you will know once you actually engage in it. Obviously the console versions are going to have the same kind of controls. It's just, they are a few dollars more expensive. And $8, no, I wouldn't recommend this game at $8.
Yeah. Like, maybe on the Switch, because this looks like another one of those, play it for a few minutes type of games.
It's definitely structured that way. Like, I hesitate to call this mobile design, but it is mobile-friendly design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're very small rooms. It's very, each level is designed to be played for a matter of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like a minute would be pushing it for a room. So it's definitely got that kind of design. But as far as I know, this game isn't on the Switch yet, so can't recommend a thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, ultimately, kind of by default, I'd go with like a mild recommendation for the Steam version.
Mm.
Like I said, it's not a bad game, but it's not an amazing game or a particularly compelling game either.
Yeah, so it came out in 2014. It's probably going to go on sale often.
Uh-huh. Like, and mind you, that that's like this version of the game. Mm-hmm. Like, this game got released on mobile last year, which is kind of why it was available. It's just, we do the PC. If we can do it, we can do the PC thing. So, yeah. Anyway, any other statements to be made on IO here?
Not from me.
Me neither. Do you, for moving like side to side, you do like nudge it with the left stick?
Yeah, it's pretty typical controls. Okay. The left stick is the movement, the right stick is the growing and the shrinking.
But you don't have too much control over the movement speed because growing and shrinking feeds into that, or?
Yeah, it's like growing and shrinking will affect your speed. It's like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump. This probably should have been asked a while ago, but.
Anyway, So that'll about do it for I.O. Be sure to tune in after the break as we will be talking about Castle of No Escape 2.